Happy Festivus, everyone. We have a game. Last one of the holiday season for me. Might get a New Year's Eve game in. I'm USA. Oh, I'm holding Marshall Plan. So let's see if I get purged or degaulled. So yes, those are initials rather than an attempt at a name, but what do I know? Anyway, let's have a look at our hand. Now, I've got another 4-op card, so if I get purged I can still deal with blockade, although I would then be eventing Vietnam Revolt, so I have to make sure I get to Thailand. A Marshall Plan opening setup seems like it's the most attractive by virtue of the fact... What else could I do? I could headline containment, and I'd get a bonus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 ops from it. It's not quite good enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, because of ditching blockade on Vietnam. So it's not quite at the threshold for containment to yeah, it's not quite the threshold that we'd want to event containment. My problem is that Stu's a better player than me, and the Marshall opening is so painfully transparent, just like shockingly transparent, that I feel like it's offering quite a lot. But if I get purged, I'm not horrifically ops-light. Like, it's not everything being reduced. And I could always hold blockade. Because I'm not holding decal or D-style. I guess the issue is if I don't headline containment, I'm ditching blockade anyway. Let's open Marshall Plan and just be achingly transparent. And let's see what damage he does me. Right, let's plug in what I've got. Marshall's gone. I've got US, Japan, and containment. I mean, I didn't get a shabby opening deal, really. Comic-Con NORAD, 5-year. So Degaull, Duck and cover or Purge is the most attractive start for him. He may, of course, headline Decol, because he knows he can get away with it. This is, I don't know, this is why I kind of have a problem with Marshall Plan as your opening turn headline. But I welcome smarter people than me commenting on that. I appreciate it pretty much means Europe can't be dominated, but I feel like you give up a lot of information right at the start of the game to achieve that fate. So he's Suezing me. So that also pushes me out of Israel. We're still going to put another one in France to make his life a little trickier. But I expect to see an opening coup on Iran now. Yep, fairly standard. Iran. That's very unfortunate. So we are going to pop one in Iran one in Iraq, one in Malaysia, and prepare for the next coup. And if it's strong, we counter coup with US-Japan, and hope that he doesn't get de-style into Thailand too quickly. And obviously I need to re-protect France. So let's see how his ops look. I mean, mine are obscene for the start of the game. 4, 8, 11, 40, 70, 20, yeah, loads of ops. A boatload. My first Festivus miracle, along with that coup. So we've played twice before. I think both times in various leagues and cups and stuff. So we've each got a win against each other. So this one is to put some water between the better of us. For now, we shall see. Blimey, another 5,000 games have wandered by since my last one. I reckon that Playdeck will hit the million early in the new year. And maybe it'll break forever, right? So he's probably feeling a little ops light. We will offer the coup on Pakistan with the China card and or using the China card. I won't move into Thailand yet, that's bloody stupid. We'll pop a little more in France. Norway, or will we walk to Jordan? Walking to Jordan's probably better. I want to basically say, look, you can either event Indo-Pakistani war, you can use the China card, or you can try and coup on Pakistan. But either way, you pretty much have to give up the China card to do it. And of course, if he fails to do it this turn, I can then walk into India. If he does coup Pakistan and flip it, I can move into Thailand. So I want to basically give him difficult choices. Okay, so he did coup with the China card, and he did not get lucky. So we will pressure. We'll finish with Vietnam revolts to cover Thailand. So he'll walk into India, most likely. Oh, he's got it. He's going to try the 1 in 3. Unlucky dude. So I'll now take India. I'm not sure how I feel about that. He must be ops light. He must be sitting on 2s. So I may give up Milops this turn in a bid to re-protect France. Although he'll have a DEFCON 4 situation. We'll see. We'll see how AR5 goes. The problem is I've only got a coup on Iraq, which is, as you know, a little bland. Of course, if he coups, I need to make sure, if he coups are unsuccessful, I need to make sure I get presence in the Middle East. So I've got a little bit to do. You're out of luck, buddy. Yeah, I've just got too much to do, I think. I'm going to pop 3 into France, which is risk-averse, but obviously covers de Gaulle. But then I have to coup on the last turn with Vietnam revolts. I am not going to get a coup in, am I? Okay, I'm going to put 2 in Thailand and 1 in Jordan to make sure I retain presence if he coups on Iran. And then AR6, I can use Vietnam revolts to coup, but obviously de Gaulle is a big risk in France, or I could use the 2 ops to play into France. And then he needs a 3 op card on the headline. Basically, all that waffling suggests that what I really need to do is get de Gaulle in my hand. Defectors hasn't been out yet, at least, so that's something of a threat. So he gets the last coup off. It is successful. We'll pop 2 in France and basically say at the moment we're trading blows. Okay, I'm relatively satisfied with how that turn went. I do get defectors, which seems like a natural headline. He should expect defectors though, so he may headline Asia or Europe scoring if he's feeling bold. Truman, Eastern Europe. Fidel, Romania. Nuclear test ban. Special relationship. Defectors. I'm going to headline defectors. That's the most obvious headline. Special relationship, ideally after NATO. Romanian abdication as late as possible because of Europe scoring. Which means I'm holding blockade again, which is not ideal. And I suspect it also means there's a fighting chance he's holding decol and D-style. So let's defect the headline. And if he plays Asia or Europe scoring, then just kudos to him for anticipating it. He was not. That's a splendid defection. So opening coup on Panama, most likely. With Korean War out of the deck, I might push into South Korea and Taiwan. Overprotecting France is the primary objective before de Gaulle causes a lot of trouble, but otherwise I'm doing alright. Hello. We've just had a refill, so we're ace. She's gone to the gym. She'll be back about noon, I think. 11:30, cool. Right, while Sean is thinking, Stu, shout out for a festive quiz this time of year you probably won't have done, the King Williams quiz. Go to kwc.im. There's a general knowledge quiz which is a complete nightmare. You're supposed to Google it, but you'll realise when you look at the question sheet what a complete nightmare it is. But it's up now. Comes out 10 AM around the 23rd, 24th. Have a squiz. Do some trivia. Right now, Stu's trivia is, what do I do? I assume he's got one of Decol or D-Style, so I expect to see DEFCON being dropped. But he may also have CIA, but he's seen 5-year plan go, so he knows that nothing catastrophic can go wrong. But I guess maybe he's deciding, do I drop CIA AR1 and get it out the deck? Or do I do something more creative? He could coup Panama and then event D-Style anyway. But he's got a bit of work to do in Europe and Asia. It certainly wouldn't hurt to take Afghanistan if I can, as well as Burma, to protect against future redeals of Indo-Pakistani war. But he's opening with the coup. Panama? Yep. He gets there as well. So let's... I don't know, I can be even more... What if I take Saudi Arabia and push into Israel? Because that makes the Middle East difficult as well. Trying to deny domination here will be tricky. What with... I may want to space Fidel now, given he's got access in Central America. I don't want a liberation theology to lead into Central American control. But I suspect D-style drops now, if it's going to drop at all. In a bid to push into Africa and South America. Romanian abdication AR6 if I can muster it in order to... Oh, no, he's got captured Nazi, so he gets off to space. We will space Fidel in tempo response. And we don't get there. Roscosmos trumps NASA. Because obviously I have a CIA target now. Another reason I don't want to hand the China card back. So the primary job's overprotecting France, trying to make sure I get Europe domination. Asia domination I'm likely only to lose if he wins with Indo-Pakistani war. Don't think so. If he gets Indo-Pakistani war back and succeeds on the 1 in 3 on either. Taking Burma would be nice, but I guess Pakistan's always going to be his target, which is kind of why Afghanistan's attractive, as well as the extra 1 VP for adjacency. Yeah, there's D-Style, as expected. If he goes to Angola, I've missed the boat. I think spacing Fidel was a tempo error. There we go. So, we will pop 2 into Egypt. And we're going to put another one in France. I know it's KG, but that's what I'm doing. I'm guessing from the card timing that NATO isn't out. He may just be sitting on it. So I expect to see 1 into Libya to level up. Yeah. And he's going to press. So I'll hold on to special relationship for now. Will I? I won't. I'm going to keep pressuring. And I'm going to pressure in Iran rather than Libya, because obviously even with NASA being invented, I keep 1 in Egypt for now. So just going to keep the pressure up, make him think I'm going to keep tapping, but actually I'm going to run out of space quite soon. I need to put at least 1 more in France to... Well, actually it's 2 more, isn't it? To prevent a 4-op card flipping it after de Gaulle. and defectors is gone. So I might be putting both of my last 2 ops in France just to be cagey. He's UN interventioning. Duck and cover, fine. So he's not got CIA for his last card. He's got domination. So if he's got Middle Eastern scoring, I'm not going to use the China card to stop him. If he's got Middle Eastern scoring, then well done him. If he doesn't, then there's going to be a sheaf of storing cards in turn 3. And of course, from my perspective, it's a slight bummer that I didn't... Oh, he's got Europe scoring. There you go. Hopefully it will come back out in the reshuffle. Alright, so Middle East scoring is going to come out. Asia scoring is going to come out. Let's put 1 in Afghanistan to continue the theme. So he draws Asia scoring, I draw Decol. Job's a good one. He also draws Middle East scoring. I get NATO. I unfortunately get CIA. He gets Purge and De Gaulle and NASA, yeah? Yeah. I get SOCGov. Truman. And nuclear test ban for the reshuffle. Okay, so I've got blockade on socialist governments. Arab-Israeli wars are 1 in 6, and he's going to get a coup off likely anyway. A CIA coup might be most attractive here, because it's not going to come back till turn 7, and if he doesn't headline Middle Eastern scoring, I could try a coup on Libya, or Angola if he headlines NASA, for example. I'll get a full read of his hand, along with Asia and Middle Eastern scoring. What else would I headline otherwise? NATO's not worth it, Truman's not worth it, nuclear test ban's not worth it, so I guess by process of elimination, CIA created is the headline. It's in a way sad to see it disappear from my hand so profoundly soon, but in another very real sense, it's the best headline available to me now. So let's see what Stu throws at me. I think he'll be gun-shy on Purge, even having seen defectors go. De Gaulle is obviously a good shout. If he does headline De Gaulle, I am still fine against a 4-op onslaught, and I'm holding Truman, so I won't use the CIA op to repair France. Of course, if he headlines De Gaulle and then drops Europe scoring, I can take the coup on Libya. But then I would have to use the op somewhere, presuming he's not going to coup. Let's see. De Gaulle. Okay, fine. So that's part 1. So the question is, do I think he's got... Oh, he has got Europe scoring in the reshuffle. Poor sod. So he's going to 5-year plan something, which is good for him. But I do need to use the op to put 1 in France. Poor guy. That's a rough deal. And Olympic Games. Okay, so we are obliged to put the 1-op back into Europe, because we don't want to give him a... I mean, we know he's 5-year planning something. I'd rather trade dominations. And of course now he's got the tough decision as to what he does, because if he doesn't coup, I do. If he coups, I can get tempo elsewhere. Although I suppose, I don't know, what tempo do I have? A massive realign effort in South America is my best bet. Let's see what he does. He may choose to drop Middle East scoring, in which case I get the coup off. No, he won't do that. He's got a coup to drop DEFCON, right? So Egypt seems like the most attractive option. Well, it's a harsh redeal to get Europe back in the reshuffle. And a good time to use CIA for perfect information, even if it's clearing it from the deck. So what's the plan for the turn? Blockade Socialist Government, Space Decol, Event Arab-Israeli War, Rest for Ops. Coup first. Okay, so I need to keep him under pressure places, basically, right? Because he doesn't have that many ops. So he'll probably drop Middle Eastern scoring here before it gets much worse. Yep. That's a bonus for him. These things happen. So he's going to get 2 VP for Mil Ops, and he's going to ditch Asia scoring. So he's going to go in about -3 rather than -5, but he's developed in South America. So actually, he's not done too badly. Given the circumstances, USSR is not very far behind. So he gives me Europe. Okay. Chancy realign time. Let's get him out of one side, at least. Come on. There's one. What do we think? Chile or Panama? Panama. Because Chile's already red anyway. No. Okay, small Festivus miracle there. To be expected. NASA, you have let me down badly. And speaking of Nasser, he may play for Ops. He does. That's to be expected. We blockade away socialist governments. And he gets to 5-year plan Asia. We're going to put one in Lao to begin covering brush war targets. So other strong brush war target is Italy, so we'll put one in Greece. Of course, he may pop 2 in Uruguay here, which wouldn't be a... Or 2 in Uruguay, 1 in Colombia. No, he flips. Okay. Alright, we're going to put 1 into Greece to protect against Italy, and we're going to race to mid-war. Bear Trap is nice, because then I get the coup off. Duck and cover's too much of a risk anyway. No war card, so flower power's alright. Missile Envy is an option too, of course, but hard to say how that will end. Bear Trap, Kog'Maw, flower power, Allende, U2, Sadat. And my 8th card is Duck and Cover, which I'm not headlining in case of We Will Bury You. Bear Trap's less appealing because of the risk of We Will Bury You. And then I could always Bear Trap him AR7. It's got to be Missile Envy or Bear Trap, right? Duck and Cover is a Defcon risk. How I learned I could reduce Defcon to 2 with, but that's a bit bland. The risk of Missile Envy is I get given Arms Race, which is a complete waste of time. But there's a lot of 4-op cards still out there. Let's be fun and do Missile Envy, because Bear Trap's a bit bland and it's a good AR7 option. He is burying me. So let's see what I get. Let's hope it's ABM Treaty. Missile Envy's good in this situation now, of course, because that also means I force him to use a 2-op card to start the next turn. So I can overprotect Angola, for example. Although he may put 2 in South America. But let's see what I get. I mean, I'd like Muslim Revolution here. Ideally. Or ABM. Those are the 2 I'm hoping for. US-Japan is a bit bland. He's asked notting me. Okay, so let's get rid of Allende. We'll get rid of Sadat because NASA's gone. Quagmire. U2 and Flower Power we're going to keep. Because U2 is only worth a VP. And Flower Power is a strong 4-op card. Apart from the war matters. But I'm not likely to trade it for anything better. Okay, so I chucked Allende, Sadat, Quagmire. Arsenaut's gone. And I got Summit, Cambridge 5, and Alliance. So he spreads his wings. That's fine. We'll use U2 Incident to coup Panama and get to Venezuela. If he starts a coup war, I've got the ops to do it. He'll just take Brazil. Fine. I'll use Alliance for Progress to cover. So Bear Trap AR7. Potentially try and hold Flower Power for the ops. Or How I Learned. But if I'm Bear Trapping AR7, I get the opening coup. I do still need to watch out for Brush War in Thailand. So I want to pop one in Malaysia, really. I'd quite like to do some damage in South Africa. The best way to do that is take South Africa and then do the old one in Sahara, one in Cameroon. But I should play in Mexico in advance of... I should play into Mexico in advance of Liberation Theology, but the timing tell suggests he doesn't have it. So we'll level up in Africa. And we're shortly going to do the old splice on Nigeria. I'll do Cambridge 5 as late as possible in the turn, because I don't want to tip my hand. OPEC's a rich man's card there, for sure. So the way he's playing, he's hoping for a sympathetic scoring drop. He's hoping for Central America and South America scoring before Southeast Asia and Africa. Great time for him to have you an intervention. He gets the bonus Veep. And he ditches NORAD. Gets the core from Columbia but does not replace influence. So I'm okay for now. He may try and evens realign rather than push into Columbia. The war goes off. So, Asia's still looking pretty good. I guess if I don't take it now, I never will, though. So we'll take South Korea. Obviously, that's useful for Cal. So he's pressing for the VP win. And he's getting close, for sure. Credit to him. If he salts OPEC, I'm in a bit of trouble. So what we're hoping for is bear trap, and then I can coup Brazil to even up South America. That's really important. And hopefully being dealt Liberation Theology so he doesn't get it. He's going for the evens realign, very wise. Ouch. So I've got to bear trap him, and South America wins it for him. But I get relatively lucky there. So Africa and Southeast Asia. Containment and Nixon. Lads, lads, lads. Arms race. OAS. And Willie. So OAS to take Venezuela. He gets Lone Gunman off. And he can see my hand. Which he's not going to like. Presumably he'll coup on Venezuela because he can't stop Africa. And then we'll see if he gets out the trap. So he'll take the hopeful coup on Venezuela. I may try and hold containment. I may use the China card and then take it back with Nixon. The question is, do I get greedy in Africa and try and push for control? It's worth an extra 4 or 5 VPs if he's missing presence. But I may lose tempo. And the other question is, how much do I pump Southeast Asia? I have to spend 2 ops for 2 more VPs. Is it not worth a VP mid-war? I guess with South America at the risk it is. It's another thing to bear in mind. I may move into Mexico and Indonesia to cover liberation theology and get another point. Tis the season. Well, he's taking his time, but I think he has to coup on Venezuela. Africa's... Well, I suppose if he coups Nigeria or something, it's a 2 VP swing, which isn't to be sniffed at. But a hopeful coup on South America to remove me. Of course, because another option, AR... Well, if he fails his bear trap roll, I can tap Brazil and then convert, which is pretty huge swing. And although he's got complete information, okay, so he did go for that. Let's see if he doesn't get out the trap, tapping Brazil is best. Poor guy. Ouch. Good to see VOA go, though. Okay, so we use arms race to tap Brazil, and we retake Angola. So we won't be holding South America. Oh, no, actually, I was going to use the China card anyway. I'll use the China card to put 3 in Brazil and 1 in Mexico to protect against liberation theology. He gets out. Second time. So let's use the China card to take Brazil. And pop 1 in Mexico against liberation theology. Scoring card drops. Willy Brandt I may space. So if he does liberation theology, I use containment to finish taking Mexico. He may event Portuguese Empire here. Another 2 VP swing. Yep. So I just take Africa scoring. I'm not going to fart around here. I will take the points I can get. I'll probably tick up Southeast Asia scoring. Like I said, spacing Willy Brandt, holding containment's not too shabby. Finishing taking Mexico. Getting a coup off for my Milops. He may have ABM, of course. It's a good reason to overprotect Venezuela, because obviously worst case scenario, I lose Venezuela to brush war or ABM, and then get realigned out of Brazil. which would be unpleasant. With ABM, Brush and Junta still in the deck, that's a serious consideration. Bless you. So he gives me Japan, and he starts causing a bit of trouble in and around these regions. So let's use containment, do some ticking up of the numbers. That's cost neutral. So worst case scenario here is a brush war on Thailand, but I honestly prefer that to a brush war on Venezuela, don't I? So one in Philippines, one in Mexico, Southeast Asia. Oh, there we go. Is he going to go Thailand? He is. It fails. So I'm now safer in Venezuela than I was a second ago. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I would have gone Venezuela there and gone for the slightly longer game. Cripes, I'm already up to AR6. So Southeast Asia scoring, use Cambridge 5 and maybe event Nixon early next turn. I can give Pakistan back, in inverted commas. Now I have 4 battlegrounds in Asia. Have we seen defectors gone since the mid-war cards have come in? No, we haven't, that's fine. If he spaces in the next couple of turns, I might be able to get away with eventing Nixon. But otherwise I won't. What's he got? He's got Junta, oh boy. Oh dear. Well then. We're now playing Nixon on Venezuela. Oh god, are we? This is a disaster. Because the Cambridge 5 is... So I think what I do is I give him Willie. I have to play Southeast Asia scoring AR7. I feel like I've made a bit of a hash up of this turn. And he's still going to be in good shape. ABM is the last big neutral card. So whichever one of us gets that probably changes the complexion of the board. Because obviously I can coup Panama with it, he can coup Venezuela with it. And the Americas are the last scoring cards to come out. Fidel's back in the deck. So I have to watch out for that being evented. So he's currently got perfect information for one more AR. I'm hoping he's holding like Usurian grain sales or something like that. Okay, so he's setting himself up there. I draw it. It looks like my headline is taking the China card back. And now, of course, if he coups on Brazil, I take Venezuela. He's more likely to coup on Venezuela. In which case I drop South America scoring before it gets worse, I suppose. The other option is sorting something like VOA. So he may have ABM, because I sure don't. The risk of headlining South America scoring is he ABMs Brazil and I'm presenceless. So let's just use Nixon. He does. So I would have been giving him perfect information. And let's see where he coups. Brazil, then Venezuela, I suppose. So I may yet lose South America for 10 VP. And I see he's also going for Central America. Because, of course, he knows he has 2 cracks of the whip. And he's going to take them. That's unlucky for him. He doesn't know how unlucky it is yet. So he'll choose to overprotect Poland and East Germany rather than try and level up country count. So he's hoping to hold Fidel to maximise his Central America scoring. But I being able to drop South America for nil here is a huge swing. Another bloody one, eh? There we go. So we will take a coup with Camp David rather than Salt. Or can I hold a mitt is the question for the reshuffle. We'll coup with Camp David. Get Millops. Pressure. Presence. And only just got there. We'll probably have Che next. So the question is, what do we do here? We can try realigning Mexico at even. We can try tapping Cuba for domination. Or cooing Haiti and hoping he's bluffing. Options. What's the difference if I tap it? 4 VP. And what would I do with the other 1 op? Probably not a lot. So do I use a mitt instead? I'm going to gamble on him bluffing. And threaten a realign. And if he drops Central America scoring here, then well done him. He's got Che instead. But that's a giveaway, he's not currently holding it. So we drop South America scoring for 0. And we're going to have a boatload of realign attempts on Mexico. Yeah, that's the most important thing. Boom. So harsh. So my AR7 is to play into Colombia to threaten Panama. And I'll pop 2 in Mexico before the turn is out. That's ridiculous. Shuttle diplomacy he's played. Not paying attention there. Does he have the ops to get there? He does, but only if he gives up Poland. So we'll use Brezhnev to tap Panama and pop 1 in Mexico. He gets dealt it, so he can choose when it comes out. But I get dealt grain sales, as well as nuclear subs in Panama Canal. I get 1 small step, so I'm looking to space at some point, and OPEC is the natural one. He's got Fidel, which is worthless to him at the moment. He's got Indo-Pakistani War, which is not worthless to him. And he has defectors, which is useful for him to know. And he's got South African unrest, which he can do a bit of trouble with, because he can move into Botswana. But let's re-add the discards. I got NASA, Summit, OPEC, 1 small step. Summit, 1 small step. NASA, OPEC. Grain sales is the headline every time. He's going to take the 1 in 3 on Pakistan. I've got to take the coup rather than protect Pakistan. But I fail. That's good for him. He fails, which is good for me. So he'll take Panama. If he doesn't overprotect, I can event Panama just to cause a bit more headache. Yeah, it's okay. He seals that deal. I will send OPEC to space in the hopes of being able to 1 small step him. Bloody hell, NASA. Bloody hell. Central America scoring drops. So what's next in the world of incomplete information? Let's pop 2 into Israel and start to try and level up the Middle East. Okay, so he's wargamesable. Depending on what scoring cards drop between now and then. That's good for me. But we're still going to pop another couple in there. To level up for the end game. Puppet governments is unattractive. Unfortunately, NASA might go off. Oh, he's going for it. 1 in 6. So we level up there. Okay, so I have to dodge war games. That's my prime objective. Especially now it's at 14 VP. Do I event Muslim Revolution? If I do, I get cleared out of Egypt and the Middle East, and I can reclaim most of it. I'm going to do that to get out of the hand and not play NASA. So 2 and 2. So I'm going to hold NASA and try and find a way of dispensing / disposing. So yeah, dodging war games is the must. Although NASA's gone, so he's going to peak as well. That's jolly good for him. Do I hold nuclear subs? I think I want to hold nuclear subs. I'm thinking on the fly. That's lucky for me in a way. He's going to be greedy. Europe scoring is good for me. VOA is great for me. Space Gogmar Ortega's not a risk. That's a pretty good deal. So I've got to dodge war games. Europe doesn't actually put me below. There's always Truman Doctrine as well on Poland. He may have the Reformer. Voice of America is the safest headline. I may get to play it again with salt, but only with salt. Hello, he's gone to sell posters. Alright, we're going to VOA. Because I can take 1 out of Argentina, 1 out of Uruguay to dominate South America. And 2 out of Angola. Because then he has to coup, and then I can... I don't know, if I drop Europe scoring, he's still in War Games reach anyway. Well, okay. It's all about dodging War Games. We'll see if he plays the Reformer. Missile Envy. Well, I can't Quagmire myself, so I've got to give him Cuban Missile Crisis. So if he's got War Games, he wins anyway, but I can't Quagmire myself here. So I may play Missile MV2 into Poland to Truman. I'm recording this to go up on YouTube, so anything you say will be in principle public. So, fair warning. Okay, like I said, recording, going public, so anything you say will end up on the internet. So, that's fine. Well, it's just if you want to read the contents of that out for the world, it would be unwise. Well, that's alright. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. $15 or 20 minutes. We should be wrapped up. That's right. It's alright. It's alright. It's just that I don't think anyone actually listens to the commentary. Sally's coming by around 5-ish to drop. Yeah, it is. I know, right? That's alright. It's forgivable. I did. So if he puts 3 into Poland, I'll just drop Europe scoring. If he doesn't, I will use Truman. So he does go to space. But he gets there, blimey. Is there another way of him making 3 VP? That's now the question. OPEC's gone. And the other ones are all worth 2 VP. So I've got time to use Truman. And that's now worth 8 VP. So I may use Latin American debt crisis to ditch Quagmire, and I need to get a coup off at some point to save those 2 VP, which means taking 2 out of West Germany. He's sorting. He's sorting OPEC. But we'll start by dropping Europe scoring. And then I'll get a coup off by taking 2 out of West Germany. Ooh, now I get the special relationship bonus at least. So perhaps I won't cancel Cuban Missile Crisis, and I will give the 2 VP up because I've just gained 2 VP on the flip side. Although I may event special relationship after cancelling Cuban Missile Crisis with Latin America. Yeah, so I'll get a coup off that way. Okay, so discard Quagmire. Can I? Hold on. Yes, remove Cuban Missile Crisis. And now coup on Zaire. Beautiful. And we'll special relationship into West Germany. And not zoom in so damn far. Okay, so now I need to start thinking for myself. With Central America and Middle East gone, and now South America gone, War Games is very unlikely for him, and it becomes a matter of final scoring. If it becomes a matter of final scoring, I now want to space nuclear subs to try and get the VP tracker to 0 to stop the Reformer kicking in, and NASA fails me. Asia's good, How I Learned is good. Glasnost is a 2 VP AVM if the Reformer doesn't drop. He's going to see what I have first. Can I 5-year plan him? Or is How I Learned more attractive? So Libthy's the space card. Being risk averse is probably fine here. Because I could headline 5-year plan, but if it pulls Soviets and he's found a way of dropping DEFCON... Is there a way of dropping DEFCON, I suppose, is the key question. Junta triggers after. So maybe 5-year plan. Because where's he going to get a coup off? Central America for final scoring, I guess. Let's be massively risk averse. And I want to drop Asia scoring ASAP. Okay, so he's going to press for Mexico. But at least it's going to be on the principle of rear lines if I drop DEFCON. I am still going to drop DEFCON to 2. I've got Glasnost as my ABM back pocket. Ah, can he? So if he finishes taking Venezuela, I'll Glasnost ABM it. Oh, he's giving me colonial rearguards to do it. Sassy. So let's overprotect all the tappable regions. Yeah. Alright, let's get there one time. Brush War in Mexico is his biggest VP swing in principle. It'll be worth 6 more VP. So if he draws Brush War, that's where he's gonna put it. He's got to space tear down this wall, which succeeds. At least he's discarding stuff. We'll drop Asia scoring. Space Libthy, may even invent Reagan for the 1 VP. Doesn't want me to have an 8th action round. NASA's off the launch pad. Haven't missed anything. Yep, going for the VP and the Milops. Fails. We're going to take Afghanistan for an extra VP. Okay, so what can we do? We can tap Libya to get him to add more ops to get Reagan bombs Libya to be worth more. Okay, so we're going to use 5-year plan. And we're going to put one in Canada. Quack, quack. So we'll hold Pershing. And we may event Reagan bombs Libya to put us into War Games territory. Flower powers prevented. Bonus. Where is... There it is. Okay, so we'll give him Pershing. See what he does with it. And then shore up Venezuela. I would expect West Germany, Canada... Blah. Because special relations gone. Yeah. Brush war on it is not so bad now I control Poland. So we'll give him the China card. Will we? Will we? Won't we? Will we? Won't we? I've got NORAD bonus as well. We're going to play on War Games. What to discard? Solidarity, I don't get War Games. Containment's fairly attractive. Because if he purges me... Yeah. Thank you. Last term. Camp David's good for a VP. Terrorism's good to cause trouble. And there are no scoring cards. Okay. Yep. So what's left in the deck? Cal, Yasuri, Iron Lady Alliance, Eastern Europe, AWACS, Chernobyl, Shuttle, Star Wars is rubbish, Sadat Kitchen Debates. ABM, Purge, Brush War are the big nightmares. ABM, Brush, Purge. He could have Aldrich. The Reformer's now worth less. Okay, so we're going to use Nuclear Test Ban to pump Venezuela. Because I can give up West Germany and still dominate. And now it just becomes a maths game. Africa plus Asia plus Europe versus Central America and Middle East, and hopefully South America for nothing. Okay. Yeah, so we'll use the China card to pump Venezuela again, and we're just going to keep doing this as long as possible. I can use Iranian hostage crisis and arms race, because I've got terrorism. Iranian hostage crisis doesn't do anything. Oh yes, he purged me. That makes sense. So he's running into 2-op cards now. So if he's got another 2-op card, he's finally going to get there. Oh, he's going for VPs that way instead. We won't use terrorism. Oh, he gets it that way. Alright, so now we do maths. Breaking Central America is probably best. But let's do maths now. 9, 19, 26 for me is 34. Minus 5, including the China card. Right. Can't break the Middle East, can't break South America, can level up Central America. That's what I'm doing. There's the game. Yeah, lucky to dodge war games when I did. Yeah, we've already done the times quiz, so see what you could have added. And King Williams is up. We need to do some prints. No, I don't think so. No, what flight of what Greek myth involves flight? Yeah, that seems likely, right? Can't spell YouTube. Yeah, we got that one. Didn't get that. Right, thanks for watching, peeps. Do that King William's College quiz because it's good fun. And I will see you on the 31st, hopefully, when I've got another game at New